Welcome, everyone. You know what this is. This is Dr. Renee Sunday Show. You know, I know. We want to thank you so much for being here. You know, I always have to stop every broadcast. I got to do it every broadcast. I have to let you know that I really, truly thank you for checking us out on iTunes. You downloading us over there. I'm like, wow, thank you. And then you checking us out on YouTube. You're on our website, you know, reneesunday.com. And social media, we thank you. My team, you know, they make me look good, okay? So we have to get them, you know, the props because they doing their job. And I'm just glad to be that vessel. But we want to say thank you. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you that we believe in you as well. Because, you know, I always say this, you have something so great inside that is just for you. But it's not just for you because we need to get it out to the world because somebody right now needs the problems that you have been through, challenges, the situations. You know, we don't like to say pain to purpose, but unfortunately sometimes it's like that. Somebody needs that right now because they having the same or similar problem, challenge, or they don't know the next direction. And that's just so amazing that we can help our brothers and sisters. You know, when it says we are our brothers and sisters, I believe in that. And it does take the whole village. Yes, it does. Okay? But we want to get into this because we have a powerhouse with us. Woo! You know, it's just so amazing. I love when we have, all I guess, but, you know, I really love when we have amazing people that, I mean, they can really tell you what's really going on in the world. You know, you try to act like you don't know, but she's going to let you know. Okay? We have an amazing woman of God. I'm going to say she is a woman of God because she has been through a lot, but she can tell us a story that you can continue because you actually have so much inside of you that needs to come out. We have the amazing world changer herself, Dr. LaTarsha Holden, with us. She's an inspirationalist. I love that. I said, ooh, you got to get that trademark, okay? But she transformed her own life, which we always have to do our inner work, right, over the last 10 years by the grace of God, okay? But she went from a GED to a Ph.D. You hear me? Okay. And then not just one book, not just two books, not just 10 books, but 12 and more books published. And she went from homelessness to a political candidate. She has proclamations here in the amazing city of Atlanta. You know, I'm here in the hot ATL, but she is actually a leader in the community. She has really, really showed us in her life and continue to do that she has defied, what the odds? She just goes beyond that, and she actually inspires people, not just here local, but the world. And we want to welcome her to the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. I'm so excited. We want to welcome none other than the world changer, and I mean that herself, Dr. LaTarsha Holden. Are you there?
Hi. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone.
Welcome. Let's do this. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and the amazing things that's going on in your life. Woo.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you kind of hit everything on the nose. I'm Dr. LaTarsha Holden, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an inspirational speaker, and now it's been 12 years since my homeless journey. But then the last 10 years, I went from being, like you said, homeless in the streets of Atlanta. We was homeless for about 3.5 years, myself and my 6 children. I was 35 years old, uneducated, and underemployed. So statistically, my family was not supposed to survive that. Here I was, an African-American woman that was didn't know what liberation or freedom looked like, not alone just for herself, but for her 6 children. So, and I decided to fight. I didn't know what that would look like. I was 35. I dropped out in 10th grade, had 4 children by the time I was 22. So being someone that accomplished goals definitely was not my starting point. But I knew I had to do something to change the trajectory of my family's life. So while we was homeless in 2007, I decided to enroll in college. We was living in a boarded-up house as squatters, and I started college at Beulah Heights. Back then it was Bible college. Didn't really know what the educational journey was going to look like since I had dropped out in 10th grade. But I went from being homeless in the streets of Atlanta to running for city council in the 2017 election, from a GED to a doctorate in leadership studies. I became a 12-time published author. Earlier this year, I launched an Inspirational T-shirt and product line, and I just released a Christian comic book in June of this year, because I wanted to encourage others that God is still with us no matter what is going on in the world. So it's definitely been a busy last 12 years.
Yes, it has. I mean, you really, I meant that when I said a world changer. I want to talk to you a little bit about, and of course, many of our listeners, and of course, but I just want to get that out there because someone may need that. What do you think what was inside of you that actually allowed you, and I'm going to choose that word, to keep going and not give up? Because, of course, our circumstances sometimes beat us up, and then we hear this and that voice say this and one voice say that. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think gave you that drive or that zeal to not give up and continue to move forward?
Well, initially, I really didn't start off saying I was going to run for city council. I was going to write 12 books. All that stuff was the furthest thing from my mind, But I knew I had 12 eyes watching me, and I knew no one was going to come save us but me. I didn't really know how to save us. So what I did was to save my 6 children, because I made a vow to them that the streets was not going to raise them, nor the jails house them. And so, and I gave my 6 children the only thing I possessed. I told them I didn't have anything materially to give them, but the one thing I had to give them was to show them how to serve at our Lord. And I have the newspaper clippings. We did events around the Hurricane Katrina time, and it was kind of, you got to understand, Dr. Sonny, back then, I had the homeless journey was so hard because I had 2 kids in high school, 2 kids in middle school, 2 kids in elementary. So it was one thing to keep my mindset going, but I'm also have to keep 6 people from defects, drugs, gangs, alcohol. But in order that I saved my 6 children, and really at that time I didn't really think they was paying me any attention, I taught them how to give back, and out of that, my children turned around. And my oldest son came to me his senior year in high school and said, Mother, by what you showed me about giving back, my way of serving the United States Marine Corps. He recently retired after 10 and a half years in the Marines. He's now a sophomore in college pursuing a bachelor's in business. I have a daughter said her way of giving back is going to the medical field. She's an EMT, a licensed pharmacy tech, and she's in college, her second year, pursuing a bachelor's in human services. Another daughter came and said, well, her way of giving back is going to the human service field. She just recently graduated in May with her bachelor's in human services. She's been in the United States Army 2 years. One son is a caretaker. He's gainfully employed. My daughter, she's 19 years old. She became a 2-time Christian published author by the time she was 16. She just released her first children's book and has branded that. I mean, she just made that into a full brand with other products. And she's a spoken word artist and has her own T-shirt line. And then my youngest son, he would be 18 this month. So I'm finished now, Doctor. I have actually raised 6 children. I told them I'm gonna get a bag and go somewhere with some coconuts and sit on the beach now. But his name is Omega. Omega is the last and the end. There's no more coming after him. But to see my 6 children leading as leaders in their own right, if God did nothing else for me, I believe as a leader, and I believe ministry starts at home, I believe I've done a good job.
Yes, you have. I commend you. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's just so amazing. And my mom and dad said it all the time with us that, that our only dream was for you guys to do better than us, and then you have, they always say we have superseded that. And it's just an honor. It's just an honor now to, and I say this in love, spoil them now. That's the way they said. But that's just so amazing. You just bring a light to everyone. I want to ask something that's kind of, it may be a difficult question to ask, and especially being in a major city, Atlanta, but of course California, New York, and Detroit, so many that I could continue to name, Charlotte, and on, and Las Vegas. What do you think think, and this may be a hard question to answer, because a lot of people, every situation is different. We have to say that. But what do you think that's missing right now in helping our brothers and sisters that's in a difficult situation, meaning, homelessness, or feeling like they not, because you had to feel that you had to work, because sometimes we ain't going to go to the next step if we don't feel that we worthy, that we feel like we have a push, inside. So what do you think just in general that we missing of helping our brothers and sisters, globally, not just here in the United States and local here in Atlanta, but do you think that, what we're missing? I know you have to want to receive that, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, on previous interviews, that question has been posed to me. What I learned when I was homeless for 3.5 years, the hardest thing about that journey was the mental shift. And I think it's not about just erecting programs and, they just need jobs. They just need this. The longer a person is in a situation, homelessness, addictions, whatever the case may be, the strain, the PTSD that comes with that, it's not as easy as people think for them to just do a mental shift. I'm just going to be honest. Had God not intervened with me, there was no way I could have did that. I'm born and raised here. I have family members here. Nobody would help me. The journey got so hard, I walked into a hospital in Riverdale, Georgia, and I told the lady at the desk that I don't want to live anymore. And she said, "Ma'am, are you saying you want to commit suicide?" I said, "Yes." I mean, as an ordained pastor myself, I often pose the question, what happens when your struggle outlasts your strength? And it's easy to go through something when it's 2 days, couple of weeks, months, but when it starts becoming years, the strain of that on your mental and emotional psyche is almost unbearable. So the hospital kept me for a week for observation, and on that floor, they had a padded room for those who are really harmful to themselves or others. And I remember asking the lady at the desk on that floor, I said, "Can I go into that room?" Now, I wasn't raised in the church. I didn't know God. She said, "Ma'am, you're no threat to anyone." I said, "But I need to go in there." And every day I was there for that week for observation, I would go into that room and drop down to my knees and cry out, "God, are you there? Please help me." And I did that for the week I was there, but when they released me, my situation did not immediately change, but I knew something was different. I knew I was not alone. And before I knew it, I had matriculated through college and got my AA, my BA, my MBA. But Dr. Sunday, when I got accepted to the Ph.D. program for leadership studies, now I did want to bungee jump up to heaven and high-five my man and say we did it. But I think it's the mental shift. It's the people, and I'm in the process now of writing leadership, a book on leadership and a mental shift. But that's the thing. I think that's what we're missing. I think my suggestion would be, if you have an organization, please have a piece in them where you either partner with counselors, or it's not just case management where you're helping people write out a plan. The mental shift was the hardest thing I had to overcome, to see myself in the way God was trying to see me. I was 35 years old when I was homeless. So I had lived half of my life at that time, so to speak. Pretty much my mindset had been framed, you're nobody. You don't have nothing to offer the world. You're just a woman who had kids, So for me to go through that mental shift, that was the hardest part of my journey. And that's how I know if it wasn't for God, I would have probably still be stuck. But I just think that piece need to definitely give people a chance to kind of get their bearings together. Not just start a transitional shelter and just, all right, here go your job. I've been homeless. I'm just giving an example. What if someone's been homeless 10 years and you just want to throw them out there, here go a job? They haven't had a chance to kind of, they're lost. They've been in survival mode for 10 years. Give them a process, a bridge. That counseling piece should be a bridge from one piece, they lost themselves somewhere along their journey. And I think we need to help people get back to that point where they lost themselves at, not just start from right there and thinking, and that's why we don't really see a success rate amongst people with addictions and homelessness and other situations.
I totally agree with you. You got really, my spirit is jumping because I being a counselor and being a minister and being in the medical field and media I think that's what we're missing as well. It's amazing that we got kindred spirits on that. Maybe we need to work on something together with that. Because me personally, I went through, ladies and gentlemen, I went through bullying and the poverty mindset. But mine didn't really surface, Dr. Holden, until I went into really entrepreneurship. Yeah, I am a board-certified anesthesiologist. But the key is when I meet somebody that have anesthesia, we may meet 5 minutes, we may meet 2 minutes, and people that come in with trauma, they don't even know I'm there trying to, help, save their life, basically. And they don't second-guess me. Knock on wood, I have not had a patient second-guess me. They may say where I did my training, which is fair, or how many years, or I look too young. And I say, I don't like that part. I look too young to be doing that. But the key is that's trust. But with entrepreneurship, you can have some people watch you for 2 years, and then they'll say they'll purchase $7 or something like that. They have to watch you, and that was my big. So the point I'm getting at is I had to really go through personal development counseling myself because it was so much of a dynamic change for me. So I totally agree. I think any difficult situation, someone passing away, the pandemic, rioting, homeschooling, all that. I think all of us, and I think we as the African Americans, and I think we get much better. Back in the day, what happened in the house stayed in the house. I think we get much better with that. And that doesn't mean that you need to be on quote-unquote medication,
exactly.
And that, people say all those different things about that. But just sometimes to have someone to listen to you does a lot. Because people say you don't, with the grief counseling, 98% of it is just listening. But I commend you for that. Oh, my Lord, you're just so amazing. Oh, that just made me feel so good. Ladies and gentlemen, there's some jewels here that you're throwing out to us. But let me ask you this, because you did mention, because there's so many, I'm privileged as God has really taken care of it. I always say this joker, because he know I'm off the chain. being an author of so many books, ladies and gentlemen, oh, Lord have mercy, how has that helped you getting your thoughts, number one, into a print version? Of course, how has that pretty much changed your life? Because everybody has a story, but so many people are fearful or they hesitate of putting out a book or something in the publication. What's your thoughts on that? Because you have more than 12 and more to come, okay?
Well, for me, I believe in a holistic family approach. So with my writings, that's my 12 books. I got my life story, and then I wanted to target the smaller kids in a family. So I wrote 4 children's books that deals with diversity, kindness, friendship, and for little kids to start to accept their gifts. That we're all different. And then I wanted to reach the middle-aged kids in the home. So I wrote a 4-part youth series because our children are facing issues that we necessarily didn't really face, or it was kind of hidden back then. So the 4-part youth series deal with bullying, sex trafficking, teen dating violence, love and forgiveness. And then I wrote a 60-page workbook training manual where I share the 7 pillars that I put into place to start the process of transforming my mindset. So now I'm reaching the moms and the dads. And then I wrote a book for ministry, letting people know the importance of staying on the potter's wheel, and a book of thoughts and reflections, my personal thoughts, reflections, quotes, just along my journey. And so my thing, I just wanted to target the family unit as a whole. And so that's how my books, now I'm going a little deeper. I'm about to write 2 projects coming up, one on leadership and a parenting guide. But, yeah, I'm just any way that I can use my gifts. I'm not, for me, my story is totally different. I didn't come from nothing traditional. I didn't go to, the regular traditional journey, graduate high school, go to college, get into corporate America, sororities. I literally worked from rock bottom. I mean, from 35 years old to be uneducated and underemployed with 6 children and homeless. And I didn't know anyone with big names. I didn't have money. I didn't have resources. So for me, I'm just trying to reach people so they can change the narrative for their lives as well.
Mm-hmm. That's very important. Oh, my God, that's so powerful. So what can you, time goes by so quickly here. We can talk all day and night with you. But tell us any last-minute things you want to address. And then after that, please tell us how we can support you in the many things that you're doing, how we can get your products and services, and, of course, how we can support you on social media as well.
Well, I just want to say my Christian comic book, The Light Share Rule, check it out. It's available on my all of my books are on my website where you can purchase, but my Christian comic book came out in June of this year. It's just another creative. During the pandemic, a lot of people I felt just didn't want to sit and be bogged down with readings, So I came up with another creative way to encourage the people of faith, to encourage people. So check out my comic book, The Light Share Rule. All of my books on my website is www.LaTarsha, LaTarsha, Holden, HOLDEN.info. So it's drlatarshaholden.info. If you're looking for an inspirational speaker for your event, I do coaching sessions, personal development workshops. You can email me at LaTarshaHolden@yahoo.com or book your coaching session at 404-838-9587. And I'm on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Oh, wow. That's so amazing. Well, first of all, Dr. Holden, we want to thank you so much for being in your purpose and not giving up, not caving in. We just thank you for that. But also we want to thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule to be a guest here on the Dr. Renee Sunday show. If you have anything that you're working on and anything that God's put in your spirit, you need our assistance, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Okay, and thank you for having me.
Oh, you so welcome. Oh, Lord, look. Ladies and gentlemen, she got me going and going and going. I just love when a butterfly just take off. It was fun as a butterfly, okay? But if you guys want to be a guest here on the Dr. Renee Sunday podcast, you know how to get in contact with us, ReneeSunday.com. And you can DM us on any of the social media. We over on TikTok. We everywhere, okay? So you can always do that. And if you want to be part of our magazine, the Good Deeds magazine, you can be on the cover or put an article or advertise your business or services. You can do that. We have several magazines out there. We have the Caregiver, the Good Deeds, and we have this new one that's coming out. I'm so excited that's going to represent the cities of the United States. So I'm excited about that because we need to know about what the people are doing. So we say on social media to support each other, but sometimes we don't know what you offer. So we're going to help you with that here on our platform. So I just love it, but I want you to remember, I love you, ladies and gentlemen. I love you. I love you. I'm not just saying it. But I want you to know that you do have a calling. You do have a reason you were born. You're not a mistake. I'm included, we need to do 3 things. We have to believe, we have to trust, and we have to walk it out. You know the rest. We got to don't stop, get it, right? And what are we getting? We're getting our purpose, and we're getting our purpose now. This is Dr. Renee Sunday, the platform builder. I love you, and this is the Dr. Renee Sunday Show podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.